after we realized that the last center couldn't handle him, I just sort of gave up. And I kept him at home, trying to take him to occasional playgroups, and just waited to see if we would hear back from the government, which of course never came. I went on a mom's group for English-speaking moms on the South Shore, and I was asking about a speech therapist, because at the time I thought speech therapy was the only thing that Alex needed. It was the only thing that to me was obvious, because he wasn't really around other kids anyways. And then I saw Debbie, the owner of Academy Creative Kids. She sent me a message saying that they had some sort of inclusive services for children with special needs, and to go check them out. And so we said, okay, we'll give it a try. And so we went to the center, and it was clear that Debbie and Andrew knew about autism. They were welcoming with it. They understood that he wasn't like typical kids, but that he still needed to experience things with typical kids. And they offered us some really great programming, and we said, sure, all right, we'll give it a try part-time. We put him in part-time, and he loved it so much we put him in full-time.
It seems to have been working out. Alexander has been nothing but successful. He sits fully at the classroom desks. He does work that is required.
Yeah.
He
holds my hand in public now, where before he would just run away and scream if you tried to hold his hand.
He requests for things using appropriate sentence structure.
He can say his name now,
which
you know, people take for granted with an almost 4-year-old, but Alex was not able to say his name. He wasn't able to hold hands. He didn't have any comprehension of sitting for more than 5 seconds. Just simple little things like that.
I can imagine. I remember upon first meeting Alex, he was quite impulsive, to say the least.
Yes.
He's definitely, you know, the fact that he can sit at a table, again, is something educators or teachers, if you will, in daycares take for granted.
Yeah.
It's time to sit down. But for children whom are experiencing delays of any kind, the task of sitting down becomes
and as parents,
great difficulty.
As parents not getting any help, at some point you just stop caring about little things like that, because you're just so burnt out. It's day in, day out for years on end, and it gets so overwhelming that you just start to let little things go, and eventually you just don't learn some of those things.
It must be great then to find places that actually that care and aren't going to let a child simply that aren't going to put a child in a high chair, that want a child to be inclusive, that want a child to be fully autonomous, that recognizes that a child isn't going to be forever, and eventually in life we are going to want them to integrate fully.
Yep.
There are going to be demands placed on them that they simply cannot walk away from.
Yep. And when we called around trying to find other places, once you use the term, the diagnosis of autism, they just hang up the phone.
They go running for the hills.
They don't want anything to do with it.
Did you have people hang up on you?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, people, we can't handle that, or you have to have an aide, or no, we don't take those kind here.
Or just English.
Yes, that too.
That was like a double negative.
We don't speak any English here, so especially not children that have special needs. They're just not welcome at a lot of garderies out here in Quebec. They're just not welcome.
On and off island.
Yeah.
Off island, off the island of Montreal. Creative Kids is located in La Prairie, Quebec, just south of Montreal. but especially off island, services would be that much more difficult to find.
Much more difficult. CPEs are very common out here. They run a very rigid schedule. There's no inclusion. There's no deviation from, be a good, quiet little kid, sit in your chair, don't talk, don't make a fuss, do what we say, that's it. And if a child doesn't adhere to that norm because they have difficulties or they have delays, it's just something that they don't want to deal with.
Okay. I want to ask you a little bit more, if it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What in general has been your experience with us from the beginning to end? Do you have any feelings and thoughts on us upon meeting us? Have they changed significantly?
When we first went to go see you, we were just excited that someone was willing to actually talk to us with a diagnosis. It was just, wow, okay, we're going to sign him up because, we finally found people that are willing to take him and know about him. They don't have such preconceived notions of an autistic child being someone that just wails in the corner and smacks their head against the wall, because a lot of people have that preconception that there's just no handling them, lost cause, they need special care of this. So on our way, we were really excited about that. When we got there, all it did was just confirm what we thought, that Andrew and Debbie knew what autism was. They knew that it meant a lot of different things, that it didn't always mean the same thing. They saw they saw Alex for what he was. He was just a normal kid who needed some extra help in some areas and had some special needs. And we were so happy with that. We were happy with the center. And we decided we had to sign him up right away and start him. I think it was the Monday after. He was starting right away.
Expectations wise, what are your expectations for Alex for the future years? In the next couple of years?
We just hope that he continues developing the way he's doing now. We know that he's always probably going to be a little bit behind to start with, and that's fine as long as he improves on the areas that he needs to improve. He's shown a lot of potential. He's shown that he is fully capable of doing things like other children. He just needs a little bit of extra help to get there.
At Creative Kids, upon meeting us, did you ever feel like you were left out of the loop?
No.
You always felt like you were going on, that you knew what was going on and that we were approachable.
Yeah. Every day I picked him up. Andrew would tell me, this is how the day went. It went well, or it didn't go well. This is why it didn't go well. This is what we're going to do to fix it tomorrow. We got email updates all the time, Facebook updates even from Debbie on occasion, phone calls when they were needed. I think they gotta come inside.
That's okay.
Oh, okay.
On an emotional level, I can only imagine having a child, new parents, a first child being diagnosed with autism. It's a foreign term.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you're calling my child. I'm sorry. What did you just say?
Mm-hmm.
I can imagine it was emotionally stressful.
Yeah, well, it was kind of unexpected because we knew something wasn't quite right, but I didn't know anything. Like, you think you know what autism is, just being a normal person, but then
Stigma attached to it.
It's a stigma.
Like you said,
see
head
things
banging
on
against the wall.
Yeah, you see things on movies and TV shows, and you don't see it in real life. And so when someone points it out to you, you're just like, oh, really? Like it's my first child. So to me, he was completely normal in the sense that I didn't know any different, so it didn't make sense to me. Then once you start reading about it, you realize, oh, okay, I see those signs. It's okay, now it's quite obvious. Once you become educated on it, But until then, we had no idea. When you find out, it's very depressing at first. You spend a lot of nights crying. You spend a lot of nights thinking, why me? What did I do? What didn't I do? Was it because he had a bad birth? Was it because I drank too much coffee? Was it because I drank Diet Pepsi for 9 months? I don't know. But then you say, okay, now what? It's happened. What are we going to do?
What would you say to a newly diagnosed family who's looking for services on the South Shore, and just in general?
Don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait for the government to help you, because they're not going to. And that sounds bad. And financially, there's not going to be any help beyond, I think it's like $150 a month.
Okay.
That you get extra to make up for losing $2,000 to $4,000 a month of not working, because nobody will take care of your child.
Boy.
Yeah. It's to not wait, to go out and to find these services, which don't exist, unfortunately, except for Academy Preschool Creative Kids. Thank goodness we finally found them, because there was really nowhere that was willing to take children like that. But we found them, and they were willing to take him on, and there were just such massive improvements. And that's just something that the government is not providing.
Wow.
To children, especially children that only speak English or that aren't functionally fluent in French.
All right. Well, we're going to. Do you have any other thoughts or feelings that you would like to share with us?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Andrew and Debbie and all the staff at the Creative Kids Preschool, because we were out of hope by the time Debbie found me and offered me to come take a look, and it's been a lifesaver. It's changed our lives in the past few months to just know that he's getting the care that he needs, that he's not sitting at home bored, no friends to play with, nothing to do.
Just in a high chair in a daycare.
Yeah, or just being in a daycare, even worse, being in a daycare that doesn't really want to deal with him.
Right.
Because they don't know how to deal with him. Now, every morning he wakes up and he says, Mommy, go to school. Mommy, go see Andrew. Yes, Alex, we're gonna go to school and see Andrew. Okay, Mommy, let's get shoes. And that's every morning. He spends more time there than he does at home now, and he loves it.
That's nice to hear.
Yeah.
My name is Andrew. I am the senior therapist / ABA coordinator at Creative Kids Preschool Academy. And it really has been a pleasure watching Alex grow and change. One of the benefits with Alexander is he learned so much from his peers. And one of the benefits of Creative Kids Preschool Academy is that once we see potential in a child, we strive to make it happen. When we see a child is struggling, we do everything we can to help. We don't believe that one size fits all. We need to adapt to the child. Everybody learns differently, and that's, I believe, if you want to care to add to it, on a street filled with 6 other daycares. What made you choose Creative Kids Academy?
Just the willingness to take on a child that has special needs. And it's wonderful for the children who don't have special needs as well. It helps them learn. Not everybody is the same. Some kids have some challenging behaviors, and that's okay. They can still be your friend. And it's wonderful for Alex to play with children who don't have special needs, so that he can learn to integrate with them, and they can learn to be more accepting of him.
Perfect. All right, well, I thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And it was a pleasure speaking with you.
All right, thank you.